Near the end of the New Testament book of Romans, the Apostle Paul sent his greetings and well wishes to the church family he loved so much. He also sent greetings from those who had known them as well. One of them was a man named Erastus, whom Paul identified as the city treasurer. But was Erastus a real person? And was there an actual title within the Roman government known as the city treasurer? Most scholars believe that Paul wrote the book of Romans in 57 AD while working in Corinth during his third missionary journey. If that's the case, then the city alluded to in Romans 16:23 in the title and the connection with Erastus and the city treasurer would most likely be the ancient city of Corinth. That's just right behind me. And that city was located on an isthmus that connected the Peloponnese to the south and mainland Greece to the north. At this location, the American School of Classical Studies in Athens has been excavating for nearly 100 years and in the process have unearthed numerous Roman and Greek structures and artifacts, many of which corroborate the testimony of the biblical record. Judgment seats, mirrors, marketplaces, pagan temples, athletic arenas, and sculptures depicting perishable crowns are but a few of the many discoveries at Corinth that reveal a consistent and accurate portrayal of cultural events and practices referenced by Bible writers. In other words, New Testament authors like Paul and Luke have been proven to be reliable and trustworthy witnesses to the events of Scripture, and one such discovery which confirms that assertion has come to be known as the Erastus inscription. Unearthed in 1929, a team of excavators discovered in a roadway near the ancient theater of Corinth a Latin inscription etched in limestone. It appears as though the rock was in secondary use, being inscribed with 7-inch tall letters from the Latin alphabet that were probably at one time filled with bronze. The inscription reads, Erastus, in return for his aedileship, laid the pavement at his own expense. The inscription matches precisely the title given to the Erastus reference in Paul's letter to the church at Rome. From history, we know that wealthy citizens and patrons often financed the construction of public buildings and roads, and in return, citizens would give an honorific inscription created to pay homage or show appreciation. Inscriptions of this type have been discovered throughout the ruins of the Roman world and would typically include the donor's name, title, act, and in the case of an emperor, something about his divine status. Similarly, the Erastus inscription at Corinth also names its donor and identifies his title as aedile. The title aedile was used in reference to a high-ranking public office within a Roman city who functioned as the governmental appointee of public works. And this is precisely the word used in the Latin translation of Romans 16, verse 23. The earliest surviving manuscripts of the Bible are in Greek, and in those translations, the writers use the Greek word oikonomos, which is the perfect equivalent to the Latin aedile. Variously rendered in English translations as treasurer, chamberlain, and director of public works, the Greek and Latin terms that are used in those copies of the Bible reveal the meticulous and accurate quality of Scripture on even the smallest of details. But still the question remains, could the Erastus inscription be referring to the man identified by Paul in the book of Romans, and likewise in Acts and in Paul's letter to Timothy? It seems highly likely that they are one and the same person, given that Erastus was a unique name within the Roman Empire and found only here in the archaeological record at Corinth. But even if it were proven that they are different individuals, the Erastus inscription would still be important for showing the trustworthiness of Scripture. The precise and correct use of a Roman governmental title along with a known name of history, like Erastus, reveals what archaeologists call a high degree of verisimilitude in testing the reliability and veracity of an ancient writer like Paul. Dr. Craig Evans defines verisimilitude as the resemblance or likeness of the way that things, that is, the known world of history, really were. And in his book, shows how the Bible meticulously matches the discoveries of archaeology. He, along with many other archaeologists, have arrived at the same conclusion, and the plethora of artifacts and sheer weight of evidence is beyond measure. While archaeology has its limitations and is subject to errors and human bias, its findings can be extremely important for defending the faith. It not only provides context to the biblical world, but it also aids us in demonstrating the reliability of the biblical text by showing us the accuracy of the authors who composed it. The Bible's testimony matches the discoveries of archaeology and the known world of history, and the Erastus inscription testifies to that correlation, and it's just another example of the connection between faith and fact right here in the land of the Bible.